Let's do it. Easiest Fjant points. Reynor Terran got it done against Clem Zerg. But can Reynor Terran get it done against a real Zerg? It is the youngster from Sweden, Fjant, who recently peaked, guys. A new MMR record for Fjant. 6,100 MMR. Because of that, it is his time tonight. And I'm sure he'd love to go to the Home Story Cup again as well. Don't forget, by the way, tomorrow, guys, there's a big Home Story Cup qualifier. I cannot cast it because it is exclusive for Wadi. The first one was exclusive for me. The second one is exclusive for Wadi. I personally think that they shouldn't have done that. I think they should have made them open to all the casters all the time. But this is what Take TV came up with. If that makes them happy, it's their tournament, obviously. So I cannot cover it tomorrow, but it will be fun. And I do encourage all of you guys to take a look at Wadi's stream and obviously sign up for it if you want to. Even if you have no chance in winning, it's just fun. Try to sign up if you can. I will not really be here during the day because Jax is celebrating his birthday. I'm going to be Uncle Ruddy. We got him great presents. We got him great cupcakes. It's going to be fun. But first, let's do this. Let's make it through tonight. And then I will tell you guys all where to sign up for that Home Story Cup qualifier tomorrow. Or maybe one of the admins can do that. Will Jax play in Home Story Cup quali? No, but I'll get him into Deadlock, mate. He's already played a little. He's a fan of the green guy. Give it a year or two, and he's on the team winging.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight!
Thank you, Bruno, for that beautiful Coco emote. That's the most glorious thing I've seen in my chat today. In the top right side of El Cyany, we are looking at the main base of our Swedish youngster representing Team Roddy. Peaked at 6,100 MMR just this week for the first time in his career. It's Fjant. And this is going to be very confusing throughout the series. I'll just let him have it because it makes him happy. He is playing under the account of
Liquid Clem.
But it's obviously not Clem, guys. This is the Italian stallion himself representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. Now, throughout the series, a lot of people will come in. Not everybody watches Starcraft 24/7. They're gonna be confused. Wait a minute, what? Who's Reynor? Where's Reynor? Who's Liquid Clem? Just help me out in the chat a little bit. Otherwise, this entire cast is gonna be me explaining to people that it's Reynor playing. So chat, I'm counting on y'all to hopefully keep the confusion to a minimum. Last week, Reynor also wanted to play on this account against Clem. I said, no, you cannot do that. If it makes him happy tonight, we'll let him have it. Reynor obviously had some proper abusive Terran gameplay last week. It sparked a lot of joy. He was down 0-2. And then he became a very toxic Terran. Man literally went to the shop and he bought toxic bullets. And he played incredibly silly. We had some action, we had some fun moments, but we also had some really painful moments in that best of 5. That I did not enjoy, and I don't think Clem enjoyed either. Well, Dave. Happy Friday, matey. Reynor's gonna open things up today in a little more aggressive fashion. Look at this. A proxy starport. I assume we're gonna build a couple of Hellions. Try to go for a little Hellion drop. Will Fjant expect this? Will Fjant pick up on this? That I don't know. It was still fun watching him get some revenge. Yeah, I think a lot of you guys enjoyed it. I'd be lying if I said I enjoyed that game on Ghost River. I did not. I have just seen too much StarCraft in my life and casted too much StarCraft and done too much StarCraft on this channel to enjoy that kind of stuff. But if you guys are happy, then I guess I'm happy in the end of the day. Reaper and 2 Hellions leading the charge. It's actually going to be a Liberator first. Wait, did he see it? Oh my, what? What? Well, Fjant's Overlord is not seeing the starport, but what he will probably see is the Liberator. Hey, Roddy, new house. Yeah, mate, I just got a new house this week. I was like, man, these streams are doing really well, so let's just get a new house. Snuck it in there. Same fully furniture as well. Furniture everywhere, mate. Same setup, same lights, pop up. No, I just moved. I moved from one side of the living room to the next. The Liberator is obviously here a lot quicker than a normal Liberator would ever be. Because we have gone for a 2-base opening with a very quick starport. And then it started, it's even proxied. A little bit of lost mining time, but so far Fjant not taking too much damage yet. Already working with a 7-drone lead. He's making 8 more drones. Full of confidence that he doesn't need any units yet. Against this many Reapers, this many Hellions. I almost feel that Fjant should maybe get a couple battle units, no? Oh, he's got 16 links to be fair. He got the 16 links. He's just kind of hiding them, keeping his natural safe. He does need to split up some queens to start dealing with this liberator because this lib is becoming proper annoying. A real thorn in his side. And right when the links are leaving, the Hellions and Reapers are thinking about going for it. This is going to be our first drone barbecue of the evening. 9 drones already gone down, and it's so hard for Zerglings. Reynor's multitasking is everywhere, and Fjant's having a hard time having an answer for this. I think in the end, the Lings and Queens will clean this up. Well, we have to ask ourselves the oldest caster question in the book: at what cost? The cost of a lot of lost mining time and 18 drones, maybe a queen? Yep. Oh my god, and we're not done yet. Another liberator. It's being annoying at the third. Fjant, who had such a good economy, is kind of getting blasted here by Reynor. Now 12 workers down, and any Zerg that's down 12 workers against the Terran is not having a good time. I think, oh! For a split second there, the depot was lowered, but his overlord is going to get picked up as well in the back of the main. Now, there is no DPS here, besides these two Marines, so Reynor really has to send over a couple of SCVs to repair. The repair is very good. Fjant cannot do this. Okay, Fjant is actually thinking of just sending it with maybe a Baneling bust. Like, you know what, I'm too far behind. As Reynor is non-stop, relentless with his lips, and has only lost one of them. Only a single liberator has gone down so far. It feels that Reynor has built 5 of them, but it's just been one lib. I think the queen wins this fight. No, the queen would have won that fight, Fjant. It would have won the fight, mate. He would have been fine. Oh. Oh my gosh. This is going from worse to worse.
Oh my gosh. This is going from worse to worse.
That was a winnable fight for the queen. And in a game where Fjant is already in trouble, that does not help. Fjant does more of 8 of his links into Banelings, but he does not have Baneling speed. The stim is done. The first 2 medevacs are here. I think this is the end. The Zerg army here, not big enough, unless Reynor really messes up the micro. I guess obviously Creep can keep Fjant safe, but Reynor is gonna get... okay. Run a little bit. So, Reynor letting Fjant live here. I think if he would have just thrown down the scan, stim forward immediately, slow Banelings would have had a very difficult time ever connecting. Reynor wants to wait for combat shield, +1 attack, +1 armor. Fjant now finally sees that starport. It's so sad for him. Poor Fjant. A few pixels, guys, and maybe this game would have all been very, very different. Reynor's dropping a second starport. Why is that? Maybe it's because he lost the reactor there on the right side. A little bit confusing, but doesn't really matter. We have 2 tanks. A scan, I would say, is kind of mandatory here. But Reynor is going to throw down that scan. He's going to push the creep back a little bit. And here come all the guys with their guns. Baneling speed still not done. And this is where Reynor can just stand his ground and fight and snipe Banelings for days and pretend and live like he's actually
The guy everyone is talking about. Liquid Clem.
that guy. Sniping a couple Banes, tiny Zergling run by, doesn't really distract Reynor all that much. Baneling speed is seconds away from finishing up. But this is just the Marines, guys. We've got tanks in the back as well. Fjant is Omega dead. He's got no upgrades. This is not doable. This would not be doable for Reynor Zerg. This wouldn't be doable for Serral. It's definitely not doable for Fjant. Okay, a couple of the Banes do connect there. Never gonna make the difference, but maybe that can give Fjant a tiny bit of confidence that if it doesn't go all that bad in the early game, there is potential today against Reynor Terran. Low HP Queens. Fjant really is battling, guys, with a couple Lings and Bays in the center, trying to pick up the reinforcements. That is a great play if you actually had an answer for the main army. We have no answer. Sometimes there is no right play anymore, and this is one of these moments. The Lings and Banes will try one last time to connect, but Reynor is microing his Marines like he's the very best out there. A single G is going to get called. And Clem, Liquid Clem, aka BASILISK Reynor, with his Terran, takes the 1-0 lead over our 6,100 MMR Zerg, that is Fjant. But okay, we have to obviously look at a game like this and know that, okay, that was just too much damage. The Liberators, the Reapers, the Hellions, they simply did too much. Can Reynor's Terran also find these kinds of fights, these kinds of scenarios, if he doesn't kill over 20 workers? And I'm sure that's something we're going to get an answer to in Game 2, 3, 4. Game 2 will be played on Amphion. So if Game 1 is on Alcyone and Game 2 is on Amphion, I have the feeling Reynor does not like Amphion as a Zerg. I was about to say, but he might actually like it as a Terran, because I've heard him vent a little bit over this map in the past, and not just in ZVP, guys, but also in ZVT. And guess the DM that I just got. I'm camping. Ay caramba. Amphion and camping. So he's probably going to expand to the left side, or yeah, always the left side. He's going to take the third air mine out the minerals, then he's going to take the center base, and he will just slowly expand towards his opponent. Oh. Thought he was in a hurry. He said something about having a dinner today. Well,
Round 2. Fight!
not sure about that. Top left side of Amphion. We are looking at the main base of our Swedish Zergy, peaking this week at 6,100 for the first time in his Starcraft 2 career. It is Fjant. A man who's been around for a little bit now. He's been on Team Roddy for quite some time. He's gone to a couple home story cups. So, he is no stranger to high-level video gaming. In the bottom left side, playing on the Liquid Clem, he is the Italian stallion himself, representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. Second week, then we get to see Reynor's Terran. Reynor is just not really in the mood at the moment to play Zerg. He is done with this patch, he is done with this map pool, but obviously he's never done with Starcraft. So when it comes to his Zerg play, he's just waiting. Ooh. Guys, Fjant is going gas first with a pool, while Reynor is going CC first on the low ground. Curious how this works out. I do believe that command center will still finish up in time. I guess it all comes down to the follow-ups, but I think as long as that CC finishes in time, this is not ideal for Fjant. Let's see. I think it was 17-16. CC's just finished up so quick. Yeah, 17-16 I think it is. I think the CC finishes up. And the nice thing though is that maybe Fjant can go for an all-in. Maybe Fjant can cheese. We still mining gas? We're bailing busting? We are bailing busting, aren't we? Roach one, yeah, that's fine too. Alright. Reynor has no scout. He is playing blind as a bat. That one is fine because Reynor is not scouting yet. Well, he is scouting now, but let's see. This is the build you spam non-stop. Alright. Fjant will see Reynor's CV. And Fjant does know because of his Overlord, and he sees the timing of this CC. But now Reynor will actually scout that this was not hatch first. Because Reynor obviously knows these builds incredibly well. Reynor is also going to see the extractor and will be able to click on it. And he will see how much gas has been mined. So Reynor is now probably going to take this very, very serious. And he's going to start building bunkers immediately. And if he gets a Cyclone and a tank out, I'm actually very worried here for Fjant, guys. Fjant is very, very committed. Reynor at the moment has no firepower at all. It will probably be Cyclone into tank. Maybe double Cyclone. Lambo pointing out something that I think is worth mentioning, saying that Fjant took the wrong gas. If you take this gas, it is harder for SCVs to scout it because they have to go deeper into the main base. This one is the first one that SCVs see. It's like one of these things that doesn't come into play very often, but once in a blue moon it can make the difference. And that's why you should have taken the other one. Bunker is obviously done and is loaded right now with 3 out of 4 Marines. Fjant has not built a drone in forever. Oh no, what? Reynor knows the Lorimbo. Lorimbo in the chat saying I spam this build all the time. He knows the Lorimbo. Fjant is not going to chitty chat. He's just going to do his best. The Cyclone is not getting any lock-ons yet, so that's nice. Mega important, obviously, to keep these Ravagers alive for as long as possible. Important to keep the Overlord alive as well. If I was Fjant right now, I'd already send over another Overlord, because high ground vision is so important. Don't let him get your Ravagers, don't let him get your Overlord. Fjant is sending it. He just wants to bust through, but Reynor has done a very good job so far in repairing. But there go the SCVs. Here goes the bunker. There is a second bunker though, and there are more Marines. There is a third bunker as well. Ay caramba, and I think Fjant is going to run out of firepower. Reynor's got a medevac, he's got healing. All that Reynor really needs to do here is rewall. If he does that, our Zergy is in trouble. Hey, there's a little gap here. I guess there wasn't a gap before with the reactor, but because the reactor died, there's a little gap. Poor Fjant. And now Reynor living out the liquid Clem glory moments, guys. It's like, look at this. He really thinks he's him, isn't he?
Liquid Clem.
Doesn't he? Reynor is having way too much fun with this. I can guarantee you guys that. Dropping one Cyclone at a time, floating around a medevac. Oh, look at me, guys. Fjant did bring that second Overlord, which is the correct play, but obviously it's an Omega all-in build by Fjant, who is now going to try to transition out of it, snuck in a few more workers. The first OV will fall. The other one is already very low on HP. Reynor is still having a good time with his medevac and his two Cyclones. And as a Zerg, all you can really do is pray that the Terran mess up. You have no guaranteed kill here. The only killing potential you have is your opponent dropping the ball. Reynor thought about dropping the Cyclones there to snipe this Overlord, but maybe he feels there is more to gain on the other side of the map. Ooh. Flew a little close there, guys, towards that corrosive ball, but did dodge it. Reynor should maybe repair his factory. His factory is very low on HP. His factory is mega low. The Zerglings could have gone for it. Only one SCV repairing, but Fjant does not go for it. Fjant has no answer for two Cyclones and a medevac in his own natural. The Overlord gets picked off. I think Fjant is kind of dead. And Reynor with his off race. Looking on point here. Looking strong. Impressive. Nothing is really going Fjant's way. Unfortunate series so far for the young man from Sweden. Fjant is going to build 8 more roaches, guys, but these are pie roaches if I've ever seen some. They will not have roach speed, so we're going to walk slow roaches to the other side of the map, because obviously there is no lair. Maybe we can morph a couple of them into Ravagers, but we can never morph all of them into Ravagers, because we have no gas for that. These are incredibly underwhelming roaches. Reynor's army is already looking pretty strong. Right now, this actually reminds me a little bit. It was different, don't get me wrong, but it reminds me a little bit of the game 5. Was it game 5 that Reynor and Clem had in Stara Zagora, where Reynor went for that proxy hatch on Oceanborn, and he just kept on making units, hoping that Clem would jump the gun a little bit too early, thinking that the all-in, the aggression phase is over. Clem would move out, and then Reynor could collapse on his army, surround it, and kill it, and still make something work, but Clem never moved out. Clem stayed at home forever until he had so many units that he could start dropping. And Reynor has apparently learned from the kid that he has battled many times. As Reynor is not moving out either. And Reynor knows exactly where he's at in this game, and he knows that he doesn't really need to do a whole lot. Fjant needs to attack him, needs to come up this ramp, and Fjant does come up this ramp. But Fjant really has no economy behind this. No matter how many SCVs he kills here, it's not going to be enough. And these Marines, they will skill incredibly well once they've got stim, once they've got combat shield. The Zerglings and roaches of hatchery attack. Doesn't go anywhere. Italian Stallion looking good with the off race. Already won against Clem. Honestly, at this point, we may have to ask ourselves the hard-hitting questions. Has Reynor found more success with his Terran in the year 2024 than he's done with his Zerg? Because Somebody check esports earnings real quick. It's gotta be close, no? No. That's obviously sarcasm, guys. His Zerg has still done alright. But for Reynor standards, it's not been his greatest year. And that's just because the kid is so good. He has set the bar incredibly high for himself. A 2-0. Game 3 will be played on post-youth. In the eyes of many, including myself, the best Zerg map in the current map pool. There is something very funny and unique about this map. And that is that if the Terran ever stabilizes on 4 bases and is absolutely not behind, over time it actually becomes a Terran map. Because then once the sensor towers are out and the ghost count gets high, you get a couple liberators, you create a few circles. It is incredibly difficult for a Zerg to fight in the late game against a Terran. But what makes it a good Zerg map is obviously that phase where Terran is on 2 bases, they're trying to go up to 3, and then keeping the SCV safe, having to deal with link run-bys. It's a decent map for Mudas as well. So obviously heavily Zerg favorite, or heavily, quite Zerg favorite in the first 10-12 minutes. If we ever go 20 plus, actually becomes a bit of a nightmarish map for the Zergies. A 2-0 lead for this man.
Round 3.
Fight!
Top right side, the Italian stallion. One Italian already got the W today, and that was Alex in a 3-1 fashion over JMONEYMAGIC. Can it be back-to-back wins for the Italians? Grazie ragazzi, grazie mille, grazie tutti, all the way. This is BASILISK Reynor. Serious prediction about the upcoming match. I think Fjant wins this map. If you're just asking for this map, I think Fjant wins the map. The series is going to be hard at this point. It's not impossible. I would not say that like, oh, this can never ever happen. First game, obviously over the moment he lost all his drones. His second game, took the wrong gas, as Lambo pointed out, and yeah, it got scouted. And if you go for an all-in and get scouted, there's not a whole lot you can do there. But I still think that Fjant is going to make it a series, and I think he will take this map. Bottom left side, hailing from Sweden, it is Team RotterdaM Fjant. Thank you, Pontius SC2, for the prime. I appreciate it, matey. Yeah, I think Fjant wins post-youth. Also, I feel like we've had a 3-0 in a little while. I feel like there's been 1 3-0 in the last 3 editions of the Big Brain Bouts. I've been good. And I'm not about to let Reynor ruin that over here. As I've said many times in the past, our one mission on the Friday night, guys, is just to have fun, cool, competitive series. And the level doesn't really matter. We obviously want to see some big names here and there, but it's mostly just about having fun and seeing close competitive Starcraft. Today we've seen a couple of relatively one-sided games, but at least it wasn't a 3-0 yet. I'm sure it will get better. Comedian Fjant, nice cast Roddy. Tack så mycket, Sodnus. Vill du ha lite kul med mig? Speak all the languages over here, guys. Italian, German, Dutch, English, Swedish. No biggie. No biggie for Roddy. I'm incredibly limited in most of them. Including Dutch. What can you say in Italian, Kev? Grazie tutti. Grazie mille. Grazie ragazzi. Mamma mia. Madonna. That's about it. Ciao bella. That's about it, mate. Favorite matchup to watch, I would say it's PvT. I've really enjoyed watching PvT over the last few years. And PvP, actually, and I know that's not very common, but I think PvP is actually really fun. Not that fun to play, but it's really fun to watch. To be honest, that's all you need. It's about as good as my Spanish, mate. Where I can go with vamos. And I believe that's all I need. Literally fluent. I watched Davis Cup with Carlitos and Nadal in the past. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing that they shout at each other is vamos. So, basically fluent. Cancel, we have to cancel this, and Fjant will cancel this. Once more, guys, Reynor is going to build a starport. So, Reynor obviously well aware of the fact that post-youth can be a very hard map to play. If you're just opening up Hellion, Banshee, Triple CC, you can make it pretty difficult for yourself. Difficult to find drone damage. Difficult to go up to 3 bases is Terran. So Reynor says the best defense is offense. Pretty much everything that Ferrari drivers say in interviews, yes, and on the board radio. That's where I got it from me. I'm exposed. I think Italian is a very nice language, so I would love to speak more, but I'm just stupid. Maybe one day. That makes me fluent in Portuguese as well. Woo! Circling run by! Reynor left the doors open. Or did it get mined out? What? How the hell did these Zerglings get in? Sorry guys, I was focused on Hellions and Reapers and Italian, and obviously we do have Liberators, but this time it is Fjant who strikes first. He gets 9 SCVs, and 9 SCVs against a 2-base Terran is massive. Obviously we'll take a little look at the replay and figure it out. How the hell did they get in? Were the doors open? That's a lot of Reapers and Hellions, but yeah. Unfortunately for Reynor, on Pulse Youth, there is only one way into the natural, into the main base. He could have gone for a medevac second. He doesn't want to. And where Reynor did a 10 out of 10 job on Alcyone, keeping these bad boys alive forever, he is not able to do the same here. But somehow Fjant has moved the queens, and now he's actually going to take a lot of damage, and all the lings are just attacking depots on the other side. Why, Fjanty boy, why? Why are we greedy? Why were we not just happy with the position that we were in? He is going to get at least all the Hellions and Reapers, but oh my goodness, he's actually done and workers now. Yeah. This is the opposite of a jättebra. This is niet so bra. Now Fjant does at least have 3 hatcheries. Reynor only has 2 command centers at this point. Besides that proxy starport, Reynor has 0 map presence whatsoever. Should be more doable for Fjant to limit the damage. Maybe we can just start looking for this, by the way. Very surprised that Reynor thinks he can build a tech lab here and actually build a battlecruiser. Obviously, Fjant wasn't born last night. Fjant knows that this is a proxy starport. He hasn't found it yet, and right when he's looking for it, no! Oh my god, this is kid cheating. What the hell? Come on, this is ridiculous. Reynor cancels the starport, cancels the tech lab, flies the starport away, and the moment that the links leave, after the links think is not there, Reynor flies the starport back. Is our Italian cheating? Oh, this is someone check his computer right now. Obviously joking, guys. Reynor saw the links move back and probably figured that the links were going to be looking for it. That is insane spidey sense by Reynor. I cannot believe that that worked out. That's actually mental. Now the queen count is still pretty high. I think with 8 queens we don't have to worry too much about a single battlecruiser. Reynor still is... You guys think he's going to play mech over here? Do you guys think that Reynor will just play all-out mech? Starting to look like it, right? Armory on the way, Yamato. Is it Yamato cannon? I'm like, wait a minute, Yamato is a deadlock hero. He's causing a lot of pain. Is this correct, guys? I'm pretty sure it's called Yamato, but... This is Zergling, actually this Hellion drive-by doesn't really get a whole lot done as the Zerglings are all over it. Tomato. Yamato. Now some extra factories being built, so... Reynor is indeed gonna try to mech it up over here. As he has now loaded... Not quite. Loaded up his command center, but he's gonna float his command center over. Fjant is working with a 7 worker lead. I never liked this, by the way, when the Zerg players suddenly grab all their Zerglings and send all of them back. First BC does fly into the main base. Queens are gonna make their way over. While that's happening, there are Hellions on top of this base, and they will morph into Hellbats. This is where it's very important for Fjant to get the wraparound. Fjant does not have the wraparound. Reynor left a couple of Hellbats at home as well to deal with this Zergling run-by. I want to say I think Fjant's taking a little too much damage here. It's one of the spores gets picked off as well by these Hellbats. Ay. Fjant drops the spy and makes 14 additional drones. But this is painful. I don't think this was really supposed to be anywhere near this successful. And it's also allowing Reynor to do what's supposed to be difficult, what's supposed to be tricky. And that is to get those 3 bases up and running. Oh, poor Fjant. Obviously, it's not over yet. Definitely not GG by any stretch of the imagination, but I am starting to get very worried. Queen count is at 10. These 2 BCs can both fire a Yamato. Here comes the first. There's one dead queen, and the second queen is going to get picked off as well. Now, Fjant can obviously read both queens. He's got 1100 minerals. And the Zerglings now do fine. Finally, that starport. Already built. 2 battle cruisers. The third one is going to get cancelled. Knowing Reynor, he's probably going to land it. Or he's going to build like another tech lab over here. But I don't think that's going to work. With that Spire about to finish up. We are building some roaches too. That's obviously going to make our life a little bit easier against the Hellions and the Hellbats. Tank count is increasing. Currently it's only 1. Can Fjant get the wraparound here? Looks pretty good. Loses a couple of the links. Loses a lot of the links. That's a few of the Hellions. Good Hellion movement by Reynor Terran, to be fair. I think Fjant's just going to send it, guys. Overlord speed is being researched. We get a couple of dropper lords. We put 4, 6, 8 queens inside of it. You have to make damn certain, by the way, that those don't get Yamato'd. I hope I didn't just cast a curse that. The queens will be moving out, and I think that Fjant is just gonna send it. I don't think we'll see any drones being produced anymore for a little while. It's gonna be Corruptors, Roaches, Queens, Ravagers, Zerglings. That's the name of the game. Reynor's tank count currently 4. Hellion count is at 10. Fjant is doubling Reynor in army supply. Reynor obviously wants to camp for a long time. Fjant is going to try to do something about it. Blue flame is done. Here come those roaches. They are pie roaches, by the way. We don't have roach speed. I'm not a very big fan of attacks like this without roach speed. I mean, the tank count is not mega high. It's only 3. And we can obviously morph roaches into Ravagers. But if we're going to build this many roaches, just get roach speed, please. Corruptors will go for one of the VCs, but the repair is incredibly good. I do like the Overlords to drop some creeps so the Queens can actually transfuse. Obviously there was a day and age where Queens did not need any creep to transfuse, but those days are long gone. One BC gets teleported away to safety. The second one is going to have to evacuate here as well. There are 5 tanks here. Tanks are amazing against roaches. But if Fjant can just get a couple of Zerglings on top of these tanks are supposed to fall. The first one goes down, the second one, the third one. And I hope for Fjant that he gets a few more extra Zerglings, Hellbats. Oh my god, Reynor suddenly with World of Tanks production over here. 6 factories. 6 factories pumping out tanks. As Reynor lost 33 SCVs. But he will have tanks for days. I'm worried for Fjant, guys. I am a little bit worried for Fjant. Not a big opening for these Corruptors. Missile turrets everywhere. Reynor holds. Impressive hold there by Reynor. Fjant is gonna get road speed. That makes me happy. Does not have an infestation pit. Does not have hive on the way. Yeah, it does. Those fights are so funny because there really is that domino effect where if the links can just get on top of the tanks for a couple of seconds, the tanks they all shoot at each other, or they are forced to unsiege and then roaches and queens get on top of them, and then they all fall. Fjant was so close to that tipping point. Just didn't quite have those final few units in time. But he's gonna be able to send it again, and that's the game plan. He's even researching Carapace. Drops the infestation pit as well. Reynor's got +2 by the way on the tanks. Ay caramba. +2 tanks hit. There are some drones on the production tab now, a couple of Evo chambers as well. And Fjant is gonna try to get lucky with 120 army supply, but it's very basic army supply. No upgrades on it. No, Fjanty boy. No, I don't want to see it. I really don't want to see it, but we're going to go for it anyway. The links do manage to get on top of a couple of the tanks at the bottom. The Ravagers and Roaches are doing their thing against tanks at the top. It is not as bad as I thought it could go, and there are still a couple of Zerg units left over, but Reynor, I do believe, will hold once more. Sensor Tower gets picked off before it finishes off. Or finishes up, rather. But it's the second hold for Reynor. Only a 17 worker lead. And while Fjant had a 50-60 army supply lead earlier. And the army supply lead is completely gone. I think that attack could have worked, guys, if Reynor had like 2 or 3 factories right after that previous fight, but... Against 6 factory Reynor. He's got 4 tech labs, 1 nothing, 1 reactor. It is hard to make those attacks work. Never assume that the tank count is low. Corruptors and Queens are gonna battle the BCs. They have tactical jump available. There's a couple of Hellions are roasting drones over here at the 4th base. 11 workers go down. I assume that Reynor saved both. Whoa, that was mega close. 4 HP. Calculated or lucky, guys? 4 HP. Honestly, anything below 10 is where I draw the line. Lucky. I think Reynor was probably microing his Hellions there for a split second and so he's like, oh my god, my BC is low. Fjant is gonna make his way up to Hive. Obviously, Lynx could get Adrenal Glands, but it is hard for Lynx to make the difference if the mech armies become massive. I think something we'd absolutely be looking at is a couple Vipers. Reynor has no good answer for Vipers at the moment. The starport apparently died? Question mark? Yep. So we had a starport over here in the bottom side, but apparently it died. I don't know where, how, what. I assume the Corruptus. A couple of Hellions go for a little drive-by. Already 11 workers falling. Reynor is looking for a few more shots. Says line them up. Gets 15. Ay caramba. We've got Hive, but we've got no army. We got 67 army supply. Roaches and Ravages will not cut it against this many tanks. Reynor with his proxy star, but it looked so good for Fjant until he let the Reapers and the Hellions get in. And then the attacks, they were close. And I felt that he was... Oh, he's making a couple... That's actually smart, by the way, making a few Mutalisk here. I'm afraid it's a little bit late to make a couple Mutas. But Reynor's got no anti-air. Reynor's got literally no anti-air. So if these BCs end up dying, the Mutalisks are gonna have a field day against the tanks. Reynor is down to 29 workers. Can Muta save the day here for Fjanty boy? Now Reynor's gonna realize, like, wait a minute. Mutas, damn it, forgot about that. He has already killed 46 drones. He is gonna build 7 Cyclones at a time. 29 workers against 22 drones. The problem is Reynor's not done yet killing drones. Reynor will find additional workers as well that are hiding. 57 workers. What is this? An 8-minute ZVP of JMONEYMAGIC? No. It is Fjant losing everything against the World of Tanks army. Down to 0 drones. Reynor has successfully found every single drone on the map. And that is going to be the end. Poor Fjanty. Because obviously all that Reynor needs to do now, guys, is crank out a couple of Cyclones. And he is fine. Don't forget, he still has a lot of missile turrets from the early game. Well, a lot. He's got 4, but that's enough. That's always going to be enough. 13 Mutalisks are not going to kill 7 Cyclones and 4 missile turrets with additional Cyclones on the way. Poor Fjant. This is it. This game looked really good until he let those Reapers and Hellions in. Reynor is too good. Reynor is a god tier video gamer. Zerg, Terran, League. The last one questionable, but definitely the first two. 100%. His haste needs work though. Reynor is researching the Cyclone upgrade. It makes them move faster, shoot faster. It makes Cyclones awesome. It has a name. Don't ask me the name. It's something you really only see if Terrans are like. So there was a moment where they had like the 4 to 6 upgrade. So, Hurricane Engines, that is the name of it. Just makes the Cyclones better all around. But Reynor is going to win this game. Even before the Hurricane thrusters kick in. Fjant lost everything. This game, guys, it just went wrong at like minute 4. It was so sad. Because he sent all of his Zerglings to the other side. I mean, I don't really want to do this to you guys. Where's the first time that Reynor... GG. It is a 3-0. We haven't had a lot of 3-0s lately. Fjant, who had a good start to this game. We go back to the beginning. I guess Reynor just didn't see the first links walk in. Initially, the defense was good. Poor Fjant. And BASILISK hits us once more with 10 subs. Like, this Zergling run by, guys, was excellent by Fjant. It was really, really, really good. And Reynor in all sorts of trouble here. And, as I literally said, the beautiful thing about Post Youth is that there is only one entrance into the main base. And sure, Liberator is a little bit annoying, but you've got Zerglings in your main, you've got Queens on the ramp. Reapers and Hellions can get in. And Fjant just got... Yeah, Fjant got greedy. Like, this decision right here to grab these links and send them to the other side of the map is kind of silly. It's like you've already done the economic damage you're looking for. Hoping that the depots are lowered once more is honestly a little bit silly. But yeah. Let's the links go to the other side of the map. Realizes a little bit too late. Wait a minute. My links are not here. The Queens, they need to defend the ramp. They did not. I think at this point. Obviously, we had a couple of great fights after that, but this is all damage that was never supposed to take place. It's kind of sad. GG. Reynor 3, Fjant 0. Unfortunate, guys. Unfortunate for Fjant, but nice for Reynor. That means that we are halfway through with this edition of the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. And for once, we are actually ahead of schedule. It's not something that we've seen very often. You guys believed in Reynor Terran, 1.2 million points. And Reynor Terran is indeed better than 6,100 MMR. Get ready for our third series of the night. It is Nicorakt, the man who beat HeroMarine earlier this week 2-0. Before we hopped into that series, I told you guys, Nicorakt asked me, can I play in the Big Brain Bouts? And I said, sure, probably. But then I said, you know what, chat? Let's see how he does against HeroMarine. If this is a fun series, we'll go for it. If it's horrible, might have to wait a little bit. He didn't just play well. He 2-0'd HeroMarine. That's actually very big. But he's going up against the man who beat BattleB a while ago. And I think in the eyes of a lot of you guys, BattleB is a better Terran player than Nicorakt. So who's winning here? But HeroMarine is better than Jumi. So, yeah, good luck figuring this one out. I actually think it's a very tough one to predict, but I'm excited for it. Is it going to be Nicorakt, the RU Terran that is 6,000, 6.2k probably? And for Jumi, German P, I'm gonna say 6.3k. And before you guys say, but 6.3, yeah, I know, but he never plays on it. Everybody has that one account that they magically get up very high and then never play a single game on it again. I don't count it. I go by what I think is the average, what I actually see them compete at. So let's go with 6.2 versus 6.3. The kid who beat BattleB in the Big Brain Bouts versus the man who 2-0'd HeroMarine earlier this week. HeroMarine is not playing tonight, Sayat. He played against Nicorakt last Monday. I'll take a tiny break and then we'll get things going. Hopefully they're here because we are a little bit ahead of schedule. Obviously they were supposed to play at 8, but we are ready a little bit earlier. If they are not ready yet, it's all good. I am not in a rush. The only thing that I'm in a rush for is opening that box behind me. I can't wait. Just 2 more best of 5s. And I get to take a look at my probably prized possession.